I have always been embarrassed about my teeth. I've hated them. And I can't stop smiling since I've had them done. I'm so happy.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, very good. And good colour.
Yeah, really good colour.
Yeah.
I'm Alison from the UK and I'm here with Amy, my daughter. A few months ago, Amy asked me to accompany her to Istanbul to have some dental work done. She wanted some veneers and I said I'd be more than happy to accompany her, but I also wanted some work done myself. So I sent some pictures and was happy to come along with Amy. I have always been embarrassed about my teeth. I've hated them. I had 2 veneers done in the UK nearly 30 years ago and they weren't very good, but they fixed a problem at the time. But I had gaps at the bottom and teeth missing, so the recommendation was that I had a full set of crowns, which I have now had done, and I can't stop smiling since I've had them done. I'm so happy. Our experience here at Maltepe Dental Clinic has been absolutely fantastic. The work has been done to a high standard. No pain at all during the process. Local anaesthetic worked fantastic. Amy, do you want to say something?
I just had my veneers done and I'm really happy with them. I don't know what to say. Oh.
Before we came here, Amy had done lots of research on the internet. She'd looked at Instagram, other things you'd looked at.
Spoke to them on WhatsApp.
Yep.
They answered all the questions.
Yeah. And we were fairly confident we were coming to the right place. And like I say, the experience has just been fantastic. So friendly, everybody.
Oh, I hate that.
Trying to learn how to smile like it right now.
Now we're not going to shut you up. You're going to be at the Hollywood smile, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's going to be in front of the camera more than these models. Yeah. I'm Duncan from Cardiff, Wales, and we've been to the Maltepe Dental Clinic in the middle of COVID. I run a company, Modelling Network, in the UK. It's for people in the modelling industry, photographers, stylists, makeup artists, promoters. It's a social job, so it's good to smile when you're out and about seeing new people. A smile's worth 1,000 words sometimes, isn't it?
I'm Shamim Harris, and myself, I'm a club DJ and I do concerts. Yeah, it's going to affect a lot because I've always felt like my thing was always confidence. I didn't like talking in front of a camera. You know, when I get a lot of pictures taken of me, I'm doing a concert like to like 6,000 people, and I'm there serious, and then I feel like I'm not smiling, which I want to do, but I always subconsciously think about my teeth, so I'd never do it in case people take pictures and stuff like that. So it's helped in that kind of confidence kind of thing. It's always knocked my confidence in the past. Even now, it's just trying to get got my teeth done, and it's just trying to get used to smiling, and it's amazing. Just trying to learn how to smile like it right now.
Now we're not going to shut you up. You're going to be at the Hollywood smile, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's going to be in front of the camera more than these models. Yeah.
But yeah.
Heard about the dental procedures that go on over in Turkey, so I did some research myself, looked at some of the best clinics in the country, and Maltepe Clinic was one of the top 5 that I saw.
Basically, I was looking to do my teeth for a long time, looking through lots of different websites. Teeth were completely different. He wanted veneers, I needed a whole set of my teeth.
And I probably contacted you maybe a week before we came. So it was done in maybe 7 days, something like that.
The response, any questions that we had, instantly responded. So like some of the other companies that we sent messages, when we came to Istanbul, they sent us an email like, 3 weeks later.
WhatsApps were constant and conversation was easy, no problems like language barriers or anything. Even the taxis, we had a taxi come and pick us up from the airport and will drop us back. Yeah, everything really. Even our flights, we're going to Cappadocia next week. We didn't have the details on the codes to get there. More than just this service, it's helped us with other things while we've been here.
The experiences as well, that's what I want to talk about. Like having it done at the beginning, it was not what I expected going back about 8 years ago. So I had Invisalign. It did work to an extent and it kept on breaking, and I gave up in the end. I spent a lot of money on Invisalign. That great, and I had a lot of gaps in the teeth, and maybe I would have been smiling a lot quicker.
I just sent a photo of my teeth, and then you saw them and guided me, and I trusted you guys, and yeah, it's worked out well. The main questions were probably, how much will it be? What's the pain like? Things like that, I think the price is good. Like, obviously, clearly, compared to UK, it's an investment. In regards to the pain, you have a day of it, like it's a long day, especially your gums or so, but give it a few hours. Like after having the antibiotics, an hour later, I was back to normal really. So
you just got to be careful with those temporary teeth.
Just be careful, follow what they'll tell you to do. Other than that, they'll guide you again with the food and what to eat and stuff like that. So, and how to floss and take 7 to 10 days here as well, because Istanbul is a great city. Obviously, you're gonna have a few days where there is a bit of pain and everything, so then you want to relax after. We did a travel video while we're here, and there's so much to see and do. So it's a good city to be in to do this. Like, we could have gone somewhere else, and there's the markets, there's the religious sites, historical sites, shopping. Don't know where to start. Don't know where to start.
Food in Turkey.
Or the Habans, you can relax. It's got it all. Yeah.
Istanbul was a great shout. Compared to any other place, to be honest.
Yeah. Just come to Turkey if you want it done, because these guys know what they're doing. And shout out to Maltepe Dental Clinic.
Well, thanks to my friend over here, Casey, I had an amazing experience. I would recommend coming back to this dental office anytime. I mean, my smile is like, I feel more comfortable. My smile is a whole lot better. And of course, my friend over here's smile is like even better.
We just keep staring at each other like, oh my God, your smile. And she's like, your smile. I said, no, your smile.
And that's thanks to you guys.
Yes.
So we will be recommending this office. Everybody is so friendly, so kind. I mean, the dentist is amazing. So we definitely have to come back here again. Definitely. This is a plus.
For sure. I mean, we came all the way from the US during the COVID time, so it hasn't been easy, but we do not regret not one thing. Sure. Not one thing. And you guys have to experience Turkey for yourselves, because if this doesn't bring you here, honey, I don't know what is. You have to come. I've been thinking about changing my smile for about, I would say 3 years. And I found you guys on Instagram, and the way that you guys do your smiles, everyone is different, which I was obsessed with. Everyone has a different smile, and there was a couple of smiles that were similar to what I wanted. And I just kept seeing that you guys just kept having people, you know, from all over the world. And the way that you guys have, that you do the people's teeth, it had me. You guys have stuff on social media, you guys have stuff on YouTube, which made me feel more comfortable because, you know, you guys are easy to look up. So that's how I made the decision to come here about a year ago, and I don't regret it. So. I don't regret it at all. If you're thinking about it, don't overthink it. Just do it and come here.
She's a Nike's commercial. Just do it. Just do it.
Look at us smiling.
Exactly.
Look at you. Look at us, Miss Hollywood over here.
Well, now I'm Hollywood.
With this smile, with the dentist, you will be Hollywood. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
During the first lockdown in Britain, I made two decisions, one was to retire from my job, which I've been doing for over 40 years, and one was the first thing I was going to do was for me, and that was about doing my teeth, and that was about me. My name is Jeffrey, and I have come from London. Have always wanted to have my teeth done because I've always had what I was considered to be really stained teeth, and so I've always often talked with my mouth up and mumbled away. So anyway, I actually during the lockdown in March last year, I made a decision to retire from my job, and so that was the starting point for me then to research getting my teeth done. And I had been told about Istanbul or Turkey rather, being the place to go, and Istanbul being the city to go to. And I've never been to Turkey ever in my life, and so I Googled, and a number of practices came up, but the Maltepe one was really interested me because it seemed small and it felt like it was the right place for me anyway, because it wasn't like a big place, and so I emailed them and I started a conversation with Goka, and that was pretty amazing because whenever I sent a question to him, he answered it immediately, and I know there's only 3 hours difference, but that was really impressive. It felt like I was being listened to, and so I probably booked in to have my teeth done several months before, and obviously there were problems at that point because of I couldn't fly, so my first dates were moved because I couldn't fly because of the lockdown, because of the pandemic. But I got booked in a confirmed booking later, and I arrived here in Turkey on the 2nd of November. And the whole experience of just the transfer from the airport was amazing. Never quite experienced something like that, at which I was taken straight to my hotel. I had a number of WhatsApp messages with Goka, and turned up here on the morning of the 3rd. Yeah, and I was very nervous, definitely, and I hadn't quite expected what was to happen that day. But it was fantastic. I was made to feel very much at ease, comfortable. Dr. Alpha, who was the person that dealt with me all throughout, was just amazing. I mean, he's just so reassuring. I think he could see that I was quite nervous. I think when I met you, I couldn't smile really, could I? I mean, I was not you. You've got a fantastic smile, actually, and I will have one soon because I'm practicing. And that day I actually came in, I had x-rays, I had a before photograph taken, and I was straight into having my teeth removed, basically, not removed, but filed down in preparation for the crowns, and it's an incredible experience. It's quite a huge decision to make, I think, to have all your teeth ground down, because I no longer have my own teeth now. I have amazing. So obviously before I left, I fitted with temporary crowns, so at least I could eat and stuff. And so I had 2 days off, which was good. You do need a bit of rest after being in the dentist seat for quite a few hours. But as difficult as that was, so then I came back on the 6th, I think. Yeah, the 6th, Friday the 6th, that's right. And that was when I had a rehearsal, which is what's called rehearsal. So my crowns had been done and they were fitted to check they were okay. And obviously there were tweakings to be done, and just some alterations, I guess. Yeah, I was left speechless, really. I couldn't have imagined that I would have felt this way about my teeth. It was a really big decision to make about having crowns, every single teeth in my mouth, but it's just the most amazing thing, because they are wonderful, amazing. And I just want to say about the practice is it really has a local feel about it. The local people come and use this practice as well. Lots of children when I was around, and it was really nice because I just thought, this is such a really nice sort of inclusive practice, and they have local patients and they have international patients, and I can't what's what I'm looking for? I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. Everybody, even you guys, the photographers and the people, you're very, very attentive and you want to get the best out of people. And I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it.
When was the first time you had decided to change your smile?
Probably about, I have to say, it was about 7 years ago. And actually then I was going down the route of having something called restorative. So I had my teeth straightened. I wore braces for 3 years because my teeth were quite crooked. And then I had retainers, and the plan was for then to have my teeth whitened, and I just didn't believe that my teeth would be whitened. There would be some crown, but the idea was to keep my teeth, and for me and my own image of my own teeth, that was not really going to be, it was not going to be the way for me, because I felt my teeth were, they were not white, so you couldn't make them white, even if you were going to make them white from the inside outside. I don't know how that works. I sort of lost a bit of momentum with my teeth at that point, but it was always there, I always wanted to do it. And I think, yeah, I have to say, actually, I was working from home during the pandemic, during the first lockdown in Britain, and it was there really that I made two decisions, one was to retire from my job, which I've been doing for over 40 years, and one was to, the first thing I was going to do was for me, and that was about doing my teeth, and that was about me. And I mean, it wasn't about making me more confident, because I don't think I let my teeth necessarily hold me back in terms of confidence, but boy, do I feel different now.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
And you too, yeah.
Have a safe journey back home.
I will, thank you, yeah. I've got a few more days to see this wonderful city.
I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 2. I didn't smile on my wedding pictures. I didn't smile when my babies were born. I wanted to smile. I was just too ashamed. Hi, my name is Azra. I came here all the way from the United States to get my dream smile. During my teenage years, I had very bad experience with a dentist. I was discovered follicular cyst in my jaw, and to remove that, he suggested to extract my teeth. That was very traumatic and painful experience for me, which led to developing dental phobia, feeling of shame, which created even more issues for me because I started avoiding dentists. I would literally just go when I'm in like a lot of pain. And that created, over the years, that created like serious issues for my teeth. Like, you name it. I had crossbite, I had missing teeth, I had overcrowded teeth, I was grinding my teeth at night, I had discoloration from my old fillings, I had cavity, all kinds of problems. I felt like in the United States, like there was no dentist that could have given me what I wanted. And honestly, like, I'm young, I didn't want to get dentures. I just didn't. So I started researching. I've heard that people go to Mexico, to Colombia, to I don't know, like third world countries to get their makeovers. But one day, as I was like scrolling through Instagram, I came across the Maltepe Dental Clinic. And I was just so amazed by the work they do. Like, I was just sitting there, like scrolling their pictures, looking before and after pictures. And I was just like, oh my God, like, this is what I need. And of course, me having phobia and feeling of shame, I didn't reach out to them at first. I was spying on their page for probably a year. And then one day, I saw this post of one severe case. And I was like, oh my God, if they were able to fix this, they will fix me, like, for sure. Right that moment, I reached out to them and they replied in like 10 minutes. The doctor called me right away, like right that day. I had conversation with the doctor, I sent him pictures. He gave me like rough estimate of the price. And a few days later, I booked my flight and I flew all the way to Turkey to get my smile. Transportation was super easy. Like, I was picked at the airport. I was transferred to the hotel. The hotel is super nice. Everyone is super nice, like from a person who organized everything, the doctor. When I tell you, I've seen some dentists, and I've had work done, like, but from what I experienced here, I've never seen that before. Like the hospitality, the warmth, the friendliness, like not even in 1 second I felt like someone is judging me because of my previous look. The doctor is super gentle. I was afraid, like on my first appointment, like right before he started, I told him, can you please like put some spray or something before anesthesia? And he was like, no, you won't feel anything. I promise you that. I was like, okay. So he gave me anesthesia and I felt nothing, like nothing. And yeah, after first appointment to this day, it's been only 5 days. Unbelievable. Like in 5 days, I got like full mouth restoration, like full makeover. Like it's just, for me, unbelievable. I couldn't be happier. I can finally smile. Like I missed that part of my life. Last time I smiled on a picture was maybe in my teenage years, and now I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 2. I didn't smile on my wedding pictures. I didn't smile when my babies were born. Like, now I just can't wait to make up for those moments. It's very important for me to have this because I work in early child education. I talk to the people every day. I work with small children. I'm expected to smile all the time, to be this happy, smiley, encouraging person. Like I need to be that person for those kids, to give them comfort, to give them love, everything. And like my previous smile was just putting me back from all that. And now I feel like I finally can be myself. Like I'm not that grumpy person that some people on first sight, like they would think like, oh, she never smiles. She's so grumpy. She's like, she thinks like she's on top of everyone. Like, no, that's not me. Like, I wanted to smile. I was just too ashamed. And now I feel like this is real me, like this smiley, bubbly person. All thanks to Maltepe Dental Clinic. Every single person in this clinic is just amazing. And thank you so much for giving me my smile back. I feel like I got a second chance in life because of this. I brought my mom. She got new smile too. Her smile is so perfect now. I absolutely loved my new smile and I've been enjoying my new smile ever since the first day I got it. I wanted to be, you know, all over the place, but my smile was holding me back. And I feel like ever since I got my new smile, like the real me just like came out. Like this is me, like smiley, bubbly person. I feel like a completely new woman with my new smile. Absolutely. And I want to add one more thing. Okay, this message goes to all the people around who feel insecure with their smile, who feel trapped in their body, sad. They feel like they just cannot be themselves, like they're holding back inside. This message is for you to check this clinic, and I can guarantee you they will not only bring smile to your face again, but they will change your entire life, because they did change mine. And I absolutely love my new smile. And I've been smiling every single day ever since I got my new teeth.
I made this decision 2 days before I flew out. I did a bit of homework. I started off with about 16 companies, all based in Istanbul, and I narrowed it down to just to one, which were you guys. My name's Connor from Doncaster. Come over to Istanbul to have my teeth done. The experience was something I'll not forget, but it was well worth it. You know, a day's worth of uncomfortability for a lifetime worth of happiness with a great smile. So yeah, happy. And I'm over the moon with the end result. It looks absolutely fantastic. It feels fantastic. And I can smile with a bit of confidence now, so. Flew out. I just woke up and I said, I'm getting my teeth done. I want it done for Christmas, and I did a bit of homework. I started off with about 16 companies, all based in Istanbul, and I narrowed it down to just to one, which were you guys. That came down to the results and the feedback that I've been reading all over the internet, your Instagram page, which had amazing information, and the guy that I was speaking to via WhatsApp, so comforting speaking to him and everything else. For me, we're a little bit sensitive in various areas on certain days, but you know, after, let's say, 45 minutes after the teeth have been put in, no more pain, no more uncomfort, and yeah, absolutely amazing. I didn't get it for any other reason than just to feel comfortable within myself when smiling. I can smile with confidence now, so that's the idea. You know, you don't feel like I've got to cover my lips with me, cover my teeth with my lips, or look away from cameras when you know, people are taking photos. I can be happy, confident. And that was the idea. I'm so happy. Yeah. Thank you guys.
How about the catalogs and business cards inside?
I stayed maybe months on YouTube and Google. I finally found this one and I reached out to them, and what drew me most to them was how comfortable I felt with them. I felt like I was speaking with kind of like a family-oriented place where they could understand me. I can work one-on-one with the dentist, and it's not like a factory where everybody has the same size. So this is why I chose this clinic.
I can help you out. I can help you out. I can help you out.
The moment I spoke to Gökçe, I knew immediately. I felt at ease. I came here with confidence. I drove them crazy, that I did. I'm very picky and I'm very specific. I'm very detail oriented, and they were able to accommodate me, and you know, they didn't accept anything but perfection. So even though I kept saying, I don't like this, or I don't want this, or I want this fixed,
they kept going until I was satisfied. So that's why I would definitely recommend Multipay Dental Clinic.
Asked my dentist, and first place out of his mouth was like, look at Turkey. I'm like, I gotta look at Turkey, that's so far away. That's it. It's like, I looked at Turkey, and sure enough, he was right. Hi, so my name is David. I'm from Los Angeles currently. So I found Multipay Dental Clinic kind of at random. I had talked to a dentist I had for a long time back where I grew up about looking into traveling abroad, both A, for tourism purposes, and then B, to get like a smile rehab because I was not happy with the way my smile looked. Due in large part to myself and mistakes I made with taking care of my teeth. And he said, look at Turkey. I'm like, that seems a little far away. I'm not gonna look at Turkey. And short story is, I looked at Turkey and I'm here. I was really impressed by the affordability. Was really impressed by the quality of the smile and how it compared to, say, going to a top-notch cosmetic dentist somewhere in the US. I think how friendly and easy you guys were to work with, even having to do it just through messaging purposes. You guys made this really easy, especially for me. I'm not very experienced when it comes to international travel. This is like my first kind of solo trip, not only outside my country, but like to an entirely different continent. And so now this is my, second trip here to get everything finished. As you can see, it looks really, really good. And yeah, I would do this all over again if I had to. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. The visits I was really comfortable for something that requires as much work as the work I had done. Pain was managed. Any kind of discomfort after the procedures was easily manageable with just normal painkillers like ibuprofen or Tylenol. Yeah, I can't. I'm so happy with how this looks. Yeah, it was. I had no idea that was even a thing. I was aware of like some other countries like Mexico and Costa Rica. But yeah, my dentist just mentioned that and it was like completely blew my mind in terms of what I was expecting to hear come out of his mouth when I asked him about traveling somewhere to get some dental work done. And yeah, it was just like the math made all the sense in the world to me. I had those places in mind. I was mostly looking towards Costa Rica, and that was very general. Like I was just like, it was kind of like, one day I'm gonna get this taken care of and I'm probably gonna go to Costa Rica to get it done. And then because I was looking to make a change in career, which is, smile is a big factor of being an actor, I was like, okay, I'm kind of ready to get a little bit more serious about this. Asked my dentist, and first place out of his mouth was like, look at Turkey. I'm like, I gotta look at Turkey, that's so far away. That's it. It's like, I looked at Turkey and sure enough, he was right. Probably, let's see, about 9-10 years ago is when I first learned about the concept of medical tourism. And that really struck me. It's just like, yeah, that's a great thing. You can accomplish two things at once. You can get something done that, in my case, wasn't necessarily necessary from a medical standpoint, but just from a, not so much self-esteem, but just something that I really kind of wanted to kind of correct a mistake that I'd made. And it made it, A, it made it feasible, and B, it was like, ooh, and I could also throw in getting to experience another culture, another city, and see things that I wouldn't get to otherwise. It was just a no-brainer. So for all of you folks out there who are familiar with the 90s and the work of a certain American actor, Jim Carrey, I don't know if you can see this smile, but it is smoking! Got the likes, I don't get how I missed this. We are the rare, you don't know how to distance. Now we take a curtain call. Who we are, we never saw. We got the latest, got the shit, got the misfits. She got the man, now she calls, she missed this. Living big, we never small. Yeah, we here, we tell it all.
Beforehand, my biggest insecurity was always my smile. And now, Not at all. It's gonna be my favorite thing to show off. My smile is now my favorite thing about me. Hi, my name is Brianna Alvarez, and I came here to Maltepe Dental Clinic all the way from San Diego, California. Upon arrival at the airport, they provided me with transportation to my hotel, and from then on to the clinic and back and forth. The clinic is super clean. The staff is just so very receptive to all my needs and all my wants. I just truly felt like I was their main priority for my treatment. I was impressed by how just professional everything was. My teeth were so bad that it couldn't be done. I was like, oh my God, like it's just perfect. I'm so happy with it. It's just so shocking that I have these insane, beautiful results. Super happy with everything, and I just could not be any more happy with my results. I really couldn't have.
No, but I didn't want a fake or really noticeable look that the work had been done. The work that I seen was so on point and so natural, so that's what brought me. My name is Charles Thompson. I'm originally from Texas, now from California. I expected it to be good work because of the research I've done, the testimonials, the before and after photos that I've seen of others, but I was surprised it was perfect. There's not one thing that I don't love about my teeth. I'm happier than I could be. I feel very grateful and very blessed to have met Dr. Yusuf and his team. Once I got here, we discussed the plan of care. I mentioned my concerns, my needs and wants for my teeth. Everything that I expressed that I wanted was done precisely. When you do something to your body, you want the best. And he is definitely the best here at Maltepe Dental Clinic. I've been a nurse now for about 9 years. Here recently I joined the crisis response team to go directly to states that have been affected most by COVID-19. So I know exactly how you have to practice your care and to maintain your health and not catching any type of infection, your personal protective equipment, following hygiene protocols, and I was very pleased here. Everything here is clean, everyone practices safe care. I didn't have any worries at all. I felt very safe here. I would say the care is a lot different because it's more of a relationship here. You don't feel like you're just a patient or a customer coming in and out. You're really treated like family, and your cares and concerns are really listened to, and the hospitality is just great. You feel like you're cared for. That's a big plus. I couldn't be happier, and I would recommend coming here to have your teeth done before anywhere else.
They're just so kind. It was just a great experience, and they did an amazing job. Yes, I love my smile. Hi, my name's Gabrielle from Boston, United States. I had so many worries about getting my teeth done. But after the first appointment, all my worries went away. I researched a lot before I picked this clinic, and I am so happy. There's a translator that makes you, well, everyone makes you just feel at home. And any question you have, they answer it. They're just so kind. It was just a great experience. Easy process. Yes, I love my smile, and they did an amazing job.
So at that point I decided I can either give up or I could do something amazing. And that's when I decided to come here to Maltepe Dental Clinic. Gonna go get headshots taken because I've never done that before because I couldn't smile. Be on a camera playing your music and not thinking about how you're looking in the back of your head thinking, oh, they're gonna see my buck teeth and this is not gonna be a great performance. Now you can just play and just go with it.
You like laughing loudly?
Yes, sir.
My name is Alex Rodriguez, no relation to the famous baseball player in America. I'm currently living in Washington, D.C. in America, and I work in regional building operations, so lots of traveling from Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and Philadelphia. I grew up completely terrified of going to the dentist. My entire family was scared of going to the dentist, and we came from humble beginnings. My parents didn't have the money to pay for braces, so while everyone around me was getting their teeth straightened at a young age, mine were getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And I had an accident in high school that broke the entire half of my face, made my teeth even worse. And when I grew up and I started to make my own money and started to save up, I decided I'm gonna do something about this. And I did Invisalign and it didn't work. And there was a couple $1,000s down the drain and I was back at square one and my teeth looked almost worse than they did when I started. So at that point I decided I can either give up or I could do something amazing. And that's when I decided to come here to Maltepe Dental Clinic. Well, I will say what I've already done. I FaceTimed just about everybody that could FaceTime yesterday and just didn't tell them why I was on the call and took the mask off and said like, hello, this is me. And when I go back home, there's a lot of different things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go get headshots taken because I've never done that before because I couldn't smile. And I'm going to really focus on making my music happen and recording and performing, whether on video or eventually when we can do it in person. I'm going to do a lot more of that. Everything that I ever talked myself out of or was scared to do because I couldn't smile, I'm doing it all. To be able to, fit that image and be on a camera playing your music and not thinking about how you're looking in the back of your head thinking, oh, they're gonna see my buck teeth and this is not gonna be a great performance. Now you can just play and just go with it. And I don't think anything is gonna stop me at this point for anything that I wanna do with music. This is one of those things where there are a lot of questions that folks want to ask themselves when they look into dental tourism, and being able to have that referral from someone that they trust and going to a place that I can say this is the best dental office that I've ever walked into, regardless of where it is. So there will absolutely be a lot of referrals coming from me, and I look forward to seeing how my friends look when they come back from this.
Everything has gone really well from start to finish. Repaired in any way you wish. You won't be disappointed. It seems they can do anything here. Hello, my name is Anne. I come from Ireland. I came to have my teeth, all my crowns replaced. I arrived last Monday. I had a transfer from the airport first day on Sunday night when we arrived at the airport. Everything went very well. We went to the Elite Hotel, and then from there a GoGar came to collect me on Monday morning, and when I arrived it was very busy with care and attention all to me, and I felt very relaxed about it. My doctor looked after me very well, very skilled hands, but so skilled, so precise, continuous care. He worked on me for about 3.5 hours and it was just brilliant. I was very happy throughout that treatment time, and then I left the clinic and I came back again on Friday. I had no problems in between. The temporaries even looked well and the colour was good, there was no problem with them. And then I came back and decided on the colour and the fitting. The crowns were made and there was a bridge also included. I have no problems with the fitting of the teeth. There was no problems in between. I got a mouth guard as well because I grind, and this fits my teeth very well. And now I'm back again for just the review, and everything has gone really well from start to finish, and I really recommend coming here and having your teeth repaired in any way you wish, and you won't be disappointed. It seems they can do anything here. Thank you.
I never really paid attention to the fact that I never completely smiled. When I smile, I usually hold back my smile, or I smile with my mouth closed. Yeah, my name is Joseph, and I am from the United States of America. I live in Indiana, and yeah, I'm here in Turkey. I wanted to get my mouth taken care of. I wanted to get a complete makeover, if you want to call it that. Of course, this is a more permanent makeover, so it's not temporary. So yeah, my wife told me about this place. She did some research. She and I both wanted to get treatment here. And it turns out, due to circumstances, that I was the only one that was able to get the treatment. And it was pretty quick. I mean, we got it done in 1 week. So here we are today. I came in pretty, I mean, you probably see my before picture, but I came in less than desirable. And now I am very good looking. So, you know, I decided it for me, it was because of my wife. I don't want to say that I did it for myself only, but she encouraged me. And it was not that she didn't like the way I looked, but she encouraged me because she too was going to get the same treatment, and we felt like we both could use this, and it would be good because I'm on camera as well. I do stuff at home and for my channel. And I wanted to be presentable. I really wanted to get another boost of confidence visually, and this is why I did it. I never really paid attention to the fact that I never completely smiled. When I smile, I usually hold back my smile, or I smile with my mouth closed. My wife will say, "Smile, show some teeth," and I'm like, whatever. But it was just subconscious. It was just what I was doing subconsciously. So I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I wasn't really smiling. But now I'm gonna be paying way more attention to that. So it's pretty great. I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to the fact that this is a completely different look for me. I have to get used to this because I'm looking forward to showing the people when I get home. They're gonna wonder what happened to me, where did I go, how did this happen, why? But I'm pretty excited, and I know this is for the long term. You know, it was a great experience. I mean, for me, I can say it was a great experience because I didn't have a lot of problems coming into this. I didn't have issues that could prevent or make my treatment a little more painful. I didn't, you know, so I think it ran very smooth. All things considered, it ran very smooth. And I will have to say I was very afraid of dentistry. You know, I was very afraid of drills and sounds and things like that. I mean, and just injections. Okay, guys, it's okay. That's the worst part. But once you pass that, it's worth it for what's the end result. First of all, we went to Turkey a year ago, so I already knew that Istanbul is an amazing city. It's a big city. I already knew that this is also a city that a lot of people come to for medical treatment, for hair, for dental, for cosmetic reasons. I know that this is a place that people come to from around the world. So there's a reason for that, because there's a lot of great people doing great jobs, but it's nowhere near the price that it would be if I had this done in my home country. So why Turkey? Well, because both my wife and I could get it done for half the price of what it would cost me alone to do it in the United States. So second of all, my wife and I love Istanbul. So we love the people, we love the culture. So it was easy for us to choose this place. And then third of all, the people are professional. I mean, I don't feel like I'm, you know, like this was a scam or anything like that at all, because I wasn't even hesitant, right? There was no question. I just knew that this, you know, this would be the place. So it was great having you as a manager to be able to help translate for me. So if you're coming from a country where, you know, your language barrier, you're worried about not being able to have a conversation or to understand your treatment, just know that they'll do whatever they need to do to make sure that there's no language barrier. So don't be afraid of that. And then they're gonna make you feel comfortable. You're gonna get your treatment. It'll be done quickly, assuming there's no issues, of course, along the way, but it will happen quickly and you'll be happy you did it. So there you go.
So when I found Maltepe, I was like, this is it. And I've seriously looked through so many websites, and like there was cheap clinics, but you could tell it's like the teeth are made in the factory, like everyone's got the same smile, and I didn't want that. Hello, my name is Inessa. I live in London. I found Maltepe Clinic online, and I've been looking to get dental treatment abroad for a while, and I've checked out a few clinics, but Maltepe was the one that really stood out because of, you know, the pictures I saw on Instagram. I had my initial consultation in London. I met with Dr. Yusuf, and the whole experience was amazing. Like from the minute that I met him, I just knew that I can trust this person. He was absolutely fantastic. He explained to me in a very realistic way of what's going to happen and, you know, the steps forward. I had very crooked and discolored teeth, and I think I wasn't the easiest case. And when I finally spoke to professionals at Maltepe Dental Clinic, I was really happy to find out that they were actually able to, you know, take on my case and, you know, transform my smile. The whole, you know, communication was brilliant. It was excellent. I straight away booked my flight without the hesitance. And when I arrived, it was brilliant because Maltepe Clinic organized for me to get a taxi to get to the hotel. And on the first day, they came to the hotel and they met me, and I felt really reassured and really, you know, confident as well. Like, because it's kind of tricky being in a different country, I guess, and not knowing anyone, and especially when you're having something done to your body as well. I guess, you know, your teeth. It's a big part of you. The whole experience has been fantastic. I could not believe, like, when I came here yesterday for my trial smile, I wanted to cry. Like, seriously, I wanted to cry. It's been a fantastic experience, and I would definitely recommend. I have a friend actually who wants to get treatment, and she found a different clinic, but I was messaging her yesterday and saying, no, you're not going anywhere, you have to come here, because it's fantastic. Dr. Yusuf is the best, seriously. And all of the staff, they were so friendly, so kind, so welcoming. I couldn't have asked for more, like, a better experience. I think that service is outstanding. And from the first day, like when I came, I just knew like Dr. Yusuf was like so detailed, like he's like very precise. And when I had my adjustments made, like, you know, anything I said, he basically made all of my wishes come true. I think that's brilliant. I felt like if I had a concern or something I didn't like, he just changed it. And it's brilliant, I think. It's the best customer service ever.
I just love the smiles that they designed on the Instagram page. And they also organised a hotel for me and pick up and transfer. It's all included and I couldn't be more happier. Hi, my name's Josh. I'm from Manchester, United Kingdom. I wanted my teeth doing for a while now, but I could never do it back home because of the cost. So I looked into getting my teeth done in Turkey. There were a few different dental practices I was in contact with, but Maltepe Dental Clinic was one that stood out for me. They were very efficient, the communication was great. I just loved the smiles that they designed on the Instagram page. And they also organised the hotel for me and pick up and transfer, it was all included. The doctors were great here. I've noticed they all work together, they all come in the same room and they all give their opinion and advice and make sure they're 100% happy with it. Was that okay? A little bit short, but...
They do it with passion. They've been brilliant. They treat you like family. Hi, I'm Yasmin and I've come from Sydney, Australia to Maltepe Dental Clinic. I've found them on Instagram and decided to start my journey of a smile makeover. The staff and the doctors have been nothing but amazing. I highly recommend them. And I'm very, very, very happy with my teeth. I just want to say thank you to all the doctors and the coordinators, the staff. They've been brilliant.
I am a medical provider myself, and I did a lot of research. Turkey was my best option. A lot of people, you know, are nervous about going out of the country, but Turkey, they have great technology, excellent doctors, very clean, very upfront, no hidden agenda, and I felt really safe. And at the end, I know I made a good choice.
Ride with me, girl. You can vibe with me, girl. Touch your skin.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I traveled from New York. Initially, I was a bit nervous about coming to Turkey, but the staff and the communication was great. Once I arrived, the hotel was nice. I was picked up and dropped off every day. The staff was amazing. I'm very happy with the work they did. You know, they really took their time. Days when I thought I was satisfied, they would go the extra mile to, you know, make me 100% satisfied. So it was worth the trip. I would definitely come back. I would recommend this clinic. And I'm going back to New York with a beautiful smile. I'm very happy.
Come ride with me, girl. You can vibe with me, girl. Touch the sky with me.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Oscar. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I'm here to tell you about my experience at Maltepe Dental Clinic.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. they won't shoot me down.
So to begin, I've been insecure about my teeth for as long as I could remember. I just didn't like the shape, and I straightened them and I still wasn't happy. So I thought about veneers for several years now, and when I found Maltape on Instagram, I instantly knew that I, one, loved their work, and two, seemed very reputable. So I had my consultation online. I FaceTimed them while I was in California and eventually booked my appointment to actually come and get the treatment done. So yeah, I came, got the procedure done. I am so beyond happy with my teeth. I've never felt more confident. Everyone in the office is extremely professional and kind, and they make you feel right at home. Although I am thousands of miles away from home, the facility is so clean, the doctor is so kind and nice, and besides that, I'm extremely, extremely happy with my teeth. I've never felt so confident. I finished my treatment yesterday and I just can't stop looking at myself in the mirror. And of course, I would recommend it to anyone that is thinking about getting veneers. I know it might seem scary to go across the world or travel really far away, but I did it, so can you.
Bright smile, perfect teeth that I was always dreaming about. Very, very happy with my smile. Hello, my name is Kushi. I'm from United States. Since I was a little girl, I always was dreaming about bright smile and perfect teeth.
My wife and I had lived all over the world, and something that she's wanted to do for some time now is to fix her teeth and get a full set of veneers. We did extensive research trying to figure out which dental clinic in which part of the world was going to work out best and give her the smile that she wanted. After extensive research, my wife chose Maltape Dental Clinic, introduced them to me. They were very kind to her. They did a video consultation to get started so that she could review what she wanted to do, speak with the doctor from a distance, and make sure she was comfortable with the team that she would see. After the video consultation, she was 100% sure that Maltape Dental Clinic was the clinic she wanted to use. We made arrangements to come here to Istanbul, and as you can see, the results speak for themselves. My wife is exceptionally happy with the smile that she has now. The doctor was incredibly nice to her, made sure that the procedure was pain-free, that she was comfortable and understood the whole procedure. I think my wife is very happy, and we could not be happier with our choice to come to Maltape Dental Clinic. So thank you to the team and the staff here, and to the dentists and doctors for taking care of my wife and giving her the smile of her dreams.
I had really crooked teeth and I couldn't trust any doctor with my teeth. I did my research a lot, and I come through the Maltape Dental Clinic that I did video consulting with the Dr. Yusuf, that I felt really comfortable with Dr. Yusuf, and he makes sure that you get what you want. I did a full set of veneers, and now I have a perfect white smile that I was always dreaming about. And I thank Dr. Alper. He is really kind. He is really making sure you get what you want. And I thank all the team, Maltape Clinic, and I'm very, very happy with my smile. Thank you so much.
I can't thank them enough. 10 was better than I expected. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, no, they're great. Hi, my name's Lee and I'm from the UK. I've come to Maltape Dental Clinic for fitting of 10 zirconium crowns on the top and 4 on the bottom. And the service has been amazing from start to finish, from the quote all the way through to the procedure. I can't thank them enough. I'm so happy with my smile. It's
Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it.
10 times better than what I thought it would. 10 times better than I expected. It's great. Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
The dentists are phenomenal. I have huge dental fear. Now I have a great set of teeth. Hi, my name is Melissa. I come from the UK. I live in London, and I started doing research about implants and bridges because I have a huge gap left from a British dentist, and I've had it for 6 years now, and it's really started to bother me. So a friend recommended the clinic, and the biggest thing for me was that one of the dentists is actually based in Piccadilly in central London. So I felt very safe because I could go and see Dr. Yusuf. I could talk about the treatments I wanted. He could tell me about the clinic. He could give me an idea of cost, how it all worked. And after meeting him, I decided that, yeah, this was the clinic I was going to go with. So I booked my plane tickets and I came all the way over here, and I arrived on Sunday. And on Monday, I started my treatment. And I have to be honest, the results are truly amazing. I'm here with a friend, she's having veneers, and for the first time in 6 years, I actually have a full set of teeth. I can't recommend the clinic enough. The staff are kind, they're attentive, the dentists are phenomenal. I have huge dental fear. They've really looked after me, they've been gentle, they've spoken me through the whole process. It was the best decision I made. Now I have a great set of teeth, and from now on I will be flying back to Istanbul to see my dentist and carry on treatment at home.
She's extending her teeth all the way. I see the confidence shining out of her face. And it's really made a huge change to just her confidence.
Hi, my name is Steph. I'm from Australia, Sydney. I came to Maltepe Dental Clinic to fix up my gap of my teeth and also the side gaps as well. I had orthodontic treatment when I was younger, but I think they took out too many teeth, so I actually had a gap at the front, which was quite self-conscious about. So I came to this dental clinic to see what it's all about, and I have seen reviews on Instagram and wanted to check out the clinic.
Drinks in Ibiza, anywhere you wanna go, baby, you just let me know. Sunny Indonesia, don't say no.
So I'll talk about the process from start to finish. I was on Instagram trying to look for different types of dental clinics, and this one popped up, and what drew me to this clinic was all the professional photos, the befores and afters. And right from the get-go, when I was communicating with the dental clinic, they were quite responsive via WhatsApp. English was great. If I had any questions, I was able to actually contact them at any hours of the day, and they would actually come back with me, ask for photos to give me an accurate quote. And once I looked at everything, it was actually pretty good. Any questions that I had, they answered it immediately, and I was really happy. And when I first came to the dental clinic, they were really welcoming, everyone was really friendly. Chris had to wait for 3 hours for my first treatment, and they looked after him really well. They brought us tea. It was just a really nice experience, and I was really happy with everything from the start of the process where they explained the procedure right until the end, and yeah, couldn't be happier. Very professional, very clean, and I would highly recommend coming here.
I think it's a night and day change. Just her general smile. She's loved her actual smile nowadays. Every day she's telling me to take photos of her, and she's extending her teeth all the way. I see the confidence shining out of her face. And it's really made a huge change to just her confidence and her general demeanor.
On the beaches of Hawaii.
Thank you very much.
Drinks in Ibiza, anywhere you wanna go, baby, you just let me know. Sunny Indonesia, don't say no.
am exceedingly happy with my treatment. I can now smile with confidence. God. I have no idea what that sound like or look like. I am so nervous. Hi, my name is Angela and I live in London, United Kingdom. I was told about Madhapi Dental Clinic by a friend. I first went for my consultation in London with Dr. Yusuf. He was very nice, he was very friendly, he made me feel at home, and initially he got my trust. I then came to Turkey for my initial treatment. I had implants done. Then I returned to London. I then returned to Turkey 2 months later to have my veneers done. Staff here at Madhapi Clinic, they're very friendly, very professional, and they made my experience awesome.
Nice welcome. Got picked up at the airport and went to the hotel. So I'm here this morning and ready to get started. I'm excited for the finished result. Everyone seems really professional so far. So hoping for the best. I think they look great. I love the shape of them. I think they might be a little bit too white for me, but it's what I asked for. So I'm just going to go one shade lighter. The technician here said he'd do it no problem, which is great. I'm so surprised. I didn't expect it to be that quick and painless. I'm Neve, I'm from Ireland, and my smile was okay, and I just decided it was a time in my life when I wanted to look my best. My children are grown up and a bit of time for me, so I looked into it, and after research I came across Maltepe Clinic, and I just liked what I saw. So I just inquired, and communication was excellent. The prices were reasonable, so I thought, why not? I'm going to do something for me. So I came here. Everything went really smoothly. I was picked up from the airport and brought to the hotel, picked up from the hotel, and I'm really surprised how quickly the whole process was and how seamless. The first day my teeth were prepped, and what I was really happy about was that they weren't aggressively prepped. It was very minimal, and that was important to me. So I didn't have too much sensitivity after that. I had the temporaries put in, and 2 days later I have my new smile, and I'm delighted. And at first I was a bit nervous that the colour I had chosen was a little bit too bright for me personally. And everyone was really good. They took care of me. They got the shade that I wanted. We went down a shade, and I feel the colour now suits me better. So I'm delighted. And I tried flossing my teeth after the first day. That was another issue that I was worried about. Really easy to floss. I'm delighted with everything. Well, I looked into getting teeth whitening first of all because I wasn't happy with the colour of my teeth. And I had that done a few years ago, and I found it horrible. My teeth were so sensitive, and I thought there must be something else that I can do. So I looked at composite veneers in my own country, And it didn't seem like such a great solution. So the more I looked into it, the more I decided I think I'll travel and go to a place that just is very dedicated towards teeth. And Turkey, they really specialise, and it just seems like there's a lot of dental experts and they just do it really well here. So yeah, the more I looked into it, I was more certain of my decision to come. Probably about a year, because I've been looking at it and saving my money to get something done, and it just seemed to be so expensive and out of my reach to get veneers. And then when I found that if I went here, it's so much more affordable for me. That's when I decided. But I started to think about it first about a year ago. Well, here you have a dedicated lab for making the teeth. And my experience from people in my family that got veneers done was, first of all, much more expensive. And they also had to wait with their temporaries for a much longer time, 2 weeks. And then if they weren't happy with them, they'd go back to the lab and they'd have to wait again. So it was a much more lengthy process. So here, I'm just amazed at how quick the whole process was. I feel that I was very well looked after. If I had any issue, any question, my coordinator, Murat, was really good. He texted me back immediately. He picked me up in the first morning for my first appointment, and I made 1 or 2 changes, and he was very responsive. So I felt looked after, and that was reassuring because I'm here on my own, so that was important. Yeah, no issues at all. It's a huge, big, fancy hotel. It's quite good value. Breakfast is wonderful in the morning.
Yeah.
And anybody coming, I recommend that they have a nice big breakfast before they come, because the appointments in the clinic are quite long, and you don't want to be thinking. Yeah. And then your teeth are a little bit sensitive afterwards, so that was good for me. Yeah, but it's very comfortable, the hotel. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed your company.
Thank you. I
If you
enjoyed
have any
this.
issues in the future, we are always here to help.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.